Welcome guys to Chilltime with Jose. I'm your hostess who doesn't know the mostest, I guess. But we are going to go with Chilltime today. We're going to talk about CSGO, and we just talk about one or two things that are plaguing, well, the esports industry or even the entire internet industry in general. And just, today's topics we're going to discuss, a bit of, tournament results here and there, ESIC, IEM, some roster changes as well, also new talent lineup as well for the DreamHacks. Actually, a bit of update with the talent as well. A few of the coaches from the ESIC stuff, looking forward, and also get to talk about the new look Cloud9 and Astralis' interesting impact into the talent, not talent management area, but some sort of CS:GO school. And also afterwards, we're going to talk about the bot major, Richard Lewis in the bot major. That was actually pretty fun to watch. And then we're going to talk about lastly the one that's playing in the internet industry at the moment, and that is the cursed DMCA. Dude, I reckon someone's going to make a cover song of that, and village people are going to sue, and they're going to use the DMCA. Just highlighting the irony in it. And I just realized my screen's mirrored, so the D and the MCA are all incorrect. But, we could probably do that as a submachine. When I get, come on, let me get the D right. Okay, yeah, D, M, C, A. There we go. I might do like a full thing of that, where I'm doing a dance about the DMCA, but we'll be talking about that as well. And yeah, that's what's going to go on here. So let's get started. So first, so we're just going to talk about IEM. So NIT beat G2, which is completely unexpected given that G2 had Nico in the lineup. And I was going to tell you guys now, it was like 87% chance that G2 could win it, and only 13% that NIT were going to win it. And NIT had a bit of a had a bit of a giggle afterwards when they go 83% versus 17%. As you guys can see down here was 2-1, and basically Nip, 16 forward. I gotta say, Rose's girlfriend was extremely happy. I.e. Michelle R. She was very, very happy that occurred, because I was looking in the channels because I usually watch it live, and dude, they were just happy as anything. And I'm sitting there like, Nip beat G2, can't believe it. Like I literally cannot believe it. And it's not really a good first showing for Nico there. As you can see, they Nico -10. Now, overall, G2 losing 2 maps, 16-4, 16-4, and barely winning your own map pick, that can be a bit problematic. And NIP are looking very good with Nork, Rez, Plopsky, Hampus, and Twist. Now, really leaning on its young roster. And I'm going to say, this team is looking to improve. Next up, we got Gen G, and Gen G upset OG in the opening match. And this is actually kind of a shock for Gen G, given the fact they've picked up Craze, and they've picked up Exist, and they've lost Daps and Som. Arguably saying that they've lost two really good players, and they're just, two players who I'm going to say literally picked up off the streets, being Exist and Craze, and somehow they've been able to, do it. Like, the Puggy Styles able to do it in the end. And, well, as you can see here, the stats, basically OG just didn't capitalize. They've got the players there, they got the RGL there, they got the AWPA there as well, but they just fell into the trap of playing Puggy, and they got punished for it. They lost 2-0 to a Gen G side, which probably shouldn't even be winning this. Like, shouldn't even be, getting into double digits at all. For Gen G, like they shouldn't be getting that. It should be just getting absolutely annihilated. And, I gotta say, it's gonna highlight a lot of problems for OG, where they can't beat a Puggy style CS:GO. Like, sometimes you hear that you could lose to 1 or 2, but when you're struggling to beat the Puggy style, then you're in a bit of a bundle. I'm gonna say you're in a bit of a bundle, and hopefully OG can bounce back from this. Now, next up we got ESIC. Okay, so ESIC, I've got to say here, ESIC are the biggest blue ballers of the CS:GO scene at the moment, because no offense to you guys that are ESIC, but you guys, I know you guys are probably preparing your cases and making sure the integrity of the game stays input, but I gotta say, you guys are the biggest blue ballers ever, because you always go, oh, we're gonna do it in this date, nothing happens. We're gonna do it in this date, nothing happens. We're gonna do it in this date, nothing happens. And seriously, you probably deserve this title at this appropriate moment, because everyone's like going, oh, I can't wait for the coaches to be banned and stuff like that, and you guys never deliver. Not never deliver, but it's always delayed. I could probably say you guys are probably the cyberpunk of the CS:GO industry at the moment. But anyway, you're gonna release more findings in the next few weeks. The Watchdog, basically unforeseen complexities that arose during the second portion of inquiry. I'm gonna say here with the second part is they probably didn't expect that to consider the fact that the coach may not have been there. Okay. That may not be watching the screen or using it, and I think that's what I said last time. I think ESIC got to consider whether the coach was using the bug, not being, crap's bugged again, I'm gonna walk away from my PC and be behind my players, because it didn't occur to them they could use it as a cheat, basically. And basically they're gonna have to consider that now that, you know, they could not be at their computers, and if it's proven, then they're gonna have to rescind the ban backwards. So, you know, maybe it could have a bit of a self-reflection there as well. So ESIC's finalizing as part 2 to spectator bug. They're also going to probably be doing the match fixing as well. And, you know, there's a lot of Twister, Guerri, Robin, Hunden, Rajin. And, you know, a lot of these coaches have been gone. ESIC believes now approaching match for public scrutiny. ESIC, you know, got to be taking good care here. And, yeah, you know, I'm going to say now, there's also been some things as well as Starix, this is interesting, by the way. We're spotted coaching Hard Legion when he shouldn't be because he's banned. And, you know, a bit surprised that Flashpoint didn't adhere to this, actually. And, yeah, Monte Cristo apologized for that. And essentially that he was still banned. It was removed from the teams by FaZe admin. So I think FaZe are pretty serious that they're not going to let him in there. And he underlined that any players who've been banned, it will not be allowed to pass Flashpoint to any role. And if they do that, they'll face more penalties. So that's Starix, by the way. A beautiful picture, I know. The reality is, blah, blah, blah. Without the university's approach, blah, blah, blah. ESIC, one question about Flashpoint's stance. I'm not terribly too sure why Flashpoint hasn't gone in here yet. ESIC says they won't undermine it. I do agree that it won't undermine it. It's like people were thinking, oh, Surge, you know, appealed his ban. He got unbanned. I don't think that's I don't think that's an issue with it. It's more of a, okay, we might have to be a bit careful on our bans and stuff like that and actually contact the parties as well. And basically, I was going to say that basically people will criticize an inquiry. And this is the funny thing. Okay, this is where the tweet I was talking about earlier comes in. Someone said that Zona's ban was unfounded and it didn't show anything that he deserved to be banned. I'm like sitting here going like, I was about to respond to the tweet and be like, dude, if you ever watch all of Zona's clips on why he got banned, the guy was moving the mouse around and searching for information. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that he was not using it. Like, he was using it. And, you know, basically ESIC put a good response. They're saying they're not meant to be a dictator and stuff like that. And, you know, I feel like that's entirely appropriate. I'm going to say ESIC's allowed them to make mistakes, but someone would come in here, like on Twitter, and basically air out that, Zona was unfairly banned, or some of these coaches were unfairly banned, when there's video proof out there. You got the evidence out there. They put the evidence in public. And you see these players, like, moving their camera around, like, left, right, looking for information. Serge's was different, because Sergey, I probably could have put his name wrong, but his camera was deadly still. Like, we played it where his camera was deadly still, and I even said that his ban's probably going to get overturned for these 2 games because he's clearly not at the keyboard. Like, he's clearly not there. He's not using it. It happened. He may have just walked away from his PC and that's it. And yeah, there's been a lot of criticism at ESIC, probably unfairly, based on Sergey being unbanned. And now Forces, you know, they've put in Zona, which is, I don't have no idea why, to be honest, to be ahead of their CSGO school team. I'm going to say now, like, that doesn't sit right with me, okay? Like, that the person who abused the bug the most in 1 month, by the way, in 1 month, some of these players have been banned, have only used it once or twice over, like, a year and a half. And that he's got the job, and everyone else who, you know, were banned previously or admitted it, don't have jobs, is pretty, you know, pretty unfortunate, okay? And also did talk about this as well with, what's his name? Bless RNG. I think it was, I forget his name. With Bless as well, because, you know, with the Me Too movement where Bless was basically shut out from the market, but hopefully it's another Bless situation where he gets out, like, Bless, you know, at the start, Bless was probably the most harshly person punished, given he lost everything, and a few of the guys who may have got away with it, like, you know, kept their stuff going, but in the end, I think Bless, you know, came out of it very, very good in the end. Like, he came out very, very good, and I'm happy for him, because I thought, like, you know, I was, like, thinking towards that stance, I was going, like, openly admitting it might not be the greatest idea, but he stuck to his guns and got it right, you know, got it right. I was like, going, hopefully he gets it right, because he's been one of the good ones. He's been one of the ones that he's no excuses, his fault, he's going to get it fixed, okay? And I was hoping, which is ironic enough, bless RNG, that it all get fixed. And it did. And he's working really, really hard at it. He's been helping out some other people as well, and really appreciate it. That's why I'm hoping with some of these coaches as well, even though they've been banned, they come back or they reinvent themselves in some sort of different role. But anyways, let's go to some extra news as well. This was just a given. Okay, let's just be at this point. This was just a given. No way in hell that this was going to be held in Europe. Basically, pandemic coming back. Pandemic round 2 for Europe. The numbers keep climbing. Some of the European numbers are now worse than America's per capita. So this was never going to happen. Like, it was never, ever going to happen. And, yeah. It's going to be online. All the teams are in Europe anyway. Yeah, you can't have to do it at this point. There's no way in hell, unless it's in Australia, that a tournament's going to be held with COVID-19 on the brink. So it's pretty, like, if anything's going to happen, it's going to be in Australia. Like, New Zealand. There is no other country that can host a LAN, you know, and I don't think they're going to host a LAN in Australia either, given the time differences. But realistically, that's your only best bets. And also getting into Australia is going to be very difficult for some people as well. They're going to have to be like extraordinary quarantines and stuff like that. But it's doable. It's doable. So yeah, in the light of rising infection numbers, blah, 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 Carmack just said, no, we can't do this. And yeah, still remain this much. And basically, you know, that's pretty much going to be, yeah. So it's Fury and Heroic being automatically qualified. And basically it's going to be IEM, NA, and you know, it's going to be top 2 EU, another NA, another CIS. No Oceanic teams, of course. But that's good. You know, realistically, that's what's going to be these days. Like, I don't think there's going to be any other things. You know, I don't think there's going to be any LAN events this year. Just in case you guys wondering, I don't think there's any LAN events. But yeah, you know, that's what's happened pretty much with this. Bit disappointing, but kind of expected. You know, we're not going to have any LANs this year. Well, not this year. We already had a few LANs this year. I went to one this year in February. But, you know, it ain't going to happen, you know. Even Flashpoint 2, probably not going to be a LAN either. Like, I think they're all in Europe at the moment. And that's not going to happen. Blast going to be a LAN? No, not going to happen either. And the plan to return to LAN is going to be delayed for another few months or so. Now, Heretics, I'm going to say this team is swirling around the drain, okay? So, the irony, though, is both Heretics and Demolition Crew, I'm not sure what they're called now, but they're both, you know, dying in similar ways, I guess. As Navarro has been picked up by Vitality, Xmas is leaving Heretics, and basically the team's falling apart at this point. Like, I think there's only, there's Python, Lucky, Kirishima, Maka, then you got this, Naka Explores Options to 2021. Yeah, all I'm gonna say is I think Heretics Gonski. Okay, I think they're Gonski. When you're losing your best player, you lost Navarro, you lost Maka. Yeah, I think Kyo probably be time to go elsewhere for him as well. And yeah, I'm not thinking if Heretics going to rebuild this roster. Bit sad ending the Heretics. To be fair though, like since Heretics have not got to MDL yet, they lost MDL last season as well in the final stages to Team Secret. It was kind of always the case. Like if they didn't, they didn't qualify for advanced playoffs. Just in case you guys are wondering, they didn't qualify for it. You know, all I'm gonna say is it's bound to happen. Sorry, like you're not in MDL. You're in a few big tournaments, but you don't win. You know, you haven't been performing well. There's gonna be players that are just gonna be looking for greener pastures, and trust me, some of the pro teams at the moment need a bit of firepower in them. Like, you know, tier 1, tier 2 teams that can just be scooping these players up. And players who are not good enough, you know, being not good enough, but, you know, don't have much of a ceiling left, being Kier and Lucky. Maybe Python has a bit of a ceiling as well. Maka does as well. They're not going to get a second hint, and they're going to have to, you know, basically turn over their teams. They kind of missed opportunity as they per se, you know. They missed the opportunity that they really could have had. You know, Heretics, they're a bit unlucky with David P and David Duvik overthrowing the team and keeping the MDL slot. Like, if that changed where Heretics kept onto the MDL slot, you know, it could have been a whole different future for Heretics. But Heretics, well, that little misplay where they didn't have David P hand over the leadership, I think Kirishima, you know, being rightfully upset at David P now, you know, kind of, you know, is emphasized given the fact that his team's currently falling apart. You know, currently falling apart at the moment. And I can understand the anger from Kyo towards David P now about that. You know, basically 3 seasons ago, David P and David Dubik snaked the spot, you know, in MDL. And basically they kept Demolition Crew going for one season, and David P went to Valorant. And, basically the team had been basically puggy. They got relegated. And yeah, basically I feel like this Heretics lineup's dead. They could build around it, but I'm not sure who they're going to build around, given the fact that Navera's got a Vitality. Mac is probably going to go elsewhere. I think there could be a few teams that do need a good quality AWPer as well, and Mac is, ready to replace. But, we'll see down the track what's going to happen. Maybe Macca is renewed to Heretics, and Heretics, keep their, keep it alive. And also, you got to mention as well, Biggie, their coach, is also VAC banned and ESIC banned. So they're going to have to find a new coach as well. Now, I'm not sure how dedicated Heretics are to building up this roster, this French roster. But we'll see. We'll see if they are dedicated to getting a new coach, getting new players, or are they just going to, just deny the French experiment and just let them all go. Now, next up, we're going to talk about DreamHack Open. So basically, there's going to be some open qualifiers Saturday, just in case you guys are wondering. And we have the talent announcement already, actually. And I just realized for the DreamHack Open, there are no closed qualifiers. Okay? There are no closed qualifiers. You qualified directly from Open, which I was actually a bit surprised about. Because I was going, oh, isn't there any closed qualifiers? And then, basically, look at Wikipedia. I'll probably put that on the screen shortly. And they were like, oh no, you qualify straight in from the open qualifiers. And I was a bit surprised about it. I was like sitting there going like, really? That seems really, really weird. But yeah, you qualify straight from the open qualifier, which I'm not terribly sure of, not terribly sure of at all. Because it's like, usually you have a closed qualifier, you have an open, and you have a close. But yeah, this one's a straight qualification. Like I looked on Wikipedia and I thought it was a bit weird. But yeah, that's the thing. That's what's happening with DreamHack Open November, is that's going to be open qualifiers. So basically, given that most of the talent will be at DreamHack Masters Winter, so basically this is going to be, I'm not going to say the B lineup, okay? I'm going to say they're going to be like the up-and-coming talent, which, kind of expected. You got Frankie being the Death Coast. A lot of people in the comments of HLTV are pretty negative towards Frankie. I have no idea why. No idea why. Frankie's probably one of the best hosts you're going to get in quite a while, where she can direct conversation, have a bit of playful banter, and kind of in tune with the CSGO scene at the moment. Then you got Blair, very good at analysts and whatever. Like, he's very, very top tier. Tom's a good caster as well. He's come in as well. Funnily enough, he always comes in when Namiga's playing. He's a big fan of Namiga. Then you got Vince. Vince has been, like, basically staring, not down a barrel, but he's been basically swirling, circling, getting a talent spot onto the DreamHacks. In fact, I've seen his name quite a lot on the DreamHack talent board, and me being on the outside, basically. So it basically follows the template of DreamHack Open Lands. This is basically going to be DreamHack Winters, per se. 100,000 prize point over the course of the weekend. It'll be online tournament. And yeah. Would I sound like a jerk if I expect C9 to get 2-0-2'd? I haven't gotten to that yet, 3 letters. But maybe. But I'm not terribly too sure. I'm not sure who they're versing at the moment, though. Against Virtus Pro, I'm going to say now, I expect them to get 2-0 against Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro, that lineup's too good. Like, that lineup is exceptionally scary, okay? Like, anyways, we're going to go back to this, but I'm going to say now, like, that, I don't think Cloud9 were good enough to verse Virtus Pro. Like, Virtus Pro's in form. They've got your Kinder, Buster, Kika, and Jame firing off all cylinders. Like, you're not going to beat them. They're, like, probably one of the top 10 teams at the moment, Virtus Pro. Like, they're very, very good. They're very, very scary. But anyways, we've got Yumi, even before I say his name wrong, and T-Time back in as commentators, as well as Vu in their analysis role. I'm actually a bit surprised that Vu this is one of Vu's first roles in quite a while, which I'm really surprised with, considering the fact he spends a lot of YouTube content, analyzing play styles and stuff like that. And this is why I'm a bit surprised that this is Vu's first time in the DreamHack role, which I'm, can't really believe that. Yumi, I've seen him commentate as well on the DreamHack closed qualifiers. Vince as well. Dust's not in here again. T-Time's back in once again. I've got to say here, like, I think I talked about it on Wednesday where, like, every single time that this is announced and stuff like that, I didn't really get any hope. I wasn't really holding any hope that I was going to get a role at DreamHack. But it just seems to be at the point where I just don't know where I'm at at the moment with like, you know, getting these roles and talent roles and stuff like that. Like I probably get all the close qualifier roles for like, you know, Europe and Oceania and stuff like that. It's just, you know, I'm just not terribly too sure where I'm at. Like when I read like these Twitter threads and stuff like that, like it's never like, you know, oh, where's Jose or where's that? It's always like the same people, like that people are missing and stuff like that. And, you know, that's kind of like a personal thing as well. Like, you know, that I'm not really that known by like actual CSGO people. It's always, you know, oh, you know, Vince doesn't get much of a chance and stuff like that, you know, and, you know, basically I'm not really known out there in the Twitter world. It's always, you know, these other casters and stuff like that. Like, I don't think anyone ats me or tweets, you know, hopefully, you know, did I get a role or something like that. It's always different people as well. To be fair, though, the next biggest caster, I did have a few people tweet that I should win that. Like, I did actually have some effort as well from... This is the most, you know, heartwarming kind of thing, that I had an effort from one of the streamers that I do sub to. And, like, one of the guys in there was trying to get an effort of trying to people get vote for me. Because I was wondering why my vote count was going up. And I got up to, like, 30% at one stage. I'm like, why is my vote thing going up? And basically, one of the streamers I sub to, like, basically organized an effort to try and get enough votes. Even though it was, I think it was over by, like, 2 hours. They're trying to get me enough votes to get over the line. So that was pretty cool. And, you know, that's kind of what I'm struggling with at the moment. It's like, I'm struggling with, like, you know, nobody knows me. So I'm not going to get these roles. Because I only know really the organizations and stuff like that. And it just feels like I'm not really going to get these roles. Because I'm not known that well in the community, basically. Like, I'm probably known more to the betters than I am to the general CSGO community in general. Maybe because of the fact that I haven't got those big games I've casted yet. You know, I've been casting probably a little, you know, probably MDL here and there and stuff like that. And maybe my casting style's not really liked. I don't know. Maybe I should get a co-caster. Oops, I clicked the betting advertising. But anyways, let's just go here. I think this is a good talent lineup. I don't, people having issues with it again, like they, oh boy. I gotta say now, people who have issues with commentators, I don't understand it. I really, really don't understand it. Like, this is a good talent pool. Like, you know, there's very few that you can get better than this, to be honest. Like, I think there's a few casters out there that, you know, they could jump in as well. But I gotta say now, like, you know, this has got all the tier 2 talent pool. Like I'm gonna say with the talent, you know, tier 2 probably can break onto tier 1 pretty easily, these guys. Like, I don't see the issue. Like, I gotta say, like, there's a lot of people chomping for these jobs. Like, a lot of people. Like, just check, let's just look at for 9 to 5, for example. Like, look how many different casters are in that. There's a lot of people chomping for these jobs here. And overall, like, you know, same with 9 to 5 as well. I've not been reached out to once, by the way. Like, when they had these substitute casters, I've not been reached out to once. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a lot of people going after these jobs. And it's probably because of the fact that, you know, like, in this industry, you gotta have just good connections and good networks and stuff like that. Otherwise, you're gonna get no casting gigs. And you're pretty much on your own. Anyways, enough about that. So, Rajan, the coach of Mousesport's gonna serve as ban. He's probably gonna quit CSGO. That's what he said. He went on appeal to ban. And yeah, so he's banned for 18 months, I believe. Was it right? I think it's for 18 months, isn't it? Yeah, 19.8 months ban. He's not going to be coming back anytime soon. Okay? He is, you know, he is not coming back to CSGO. Okay? Not a chance. Next up, we're going to talk about Cloud9. So, Cloud9's new Colossus got absolutely smashed by Virtus Pro. I'm going to say here is that I'm going to say now, like, people always are like this, that Cloud9 are done, they're never going to mount to anything and stuff like that. They're always doom and gloom about this, okay? And I'm going to say this. Virtus Pro are a very good team, okay? Virtus Pro are an insanely good team. Virtus Pro should be a top 10 team, okay? Given how many teams they smash during those open and closed qualifiers in Flashpoint, okay? Cloud9 is not the top 10 team. Like, they are not a top 10 team, okay? Like, Virtus Pros, I think the only teams that Virtus Pros lost to, which is Gambit. Gambit are playing quite good CS as well. And K23. And I think Cloud9's next lineup, if you guys bear with me, is against OG. And I reckon they can win that. Like, I reckon they can beat OG. It's just the fact that versing Virtus Pro, like, people go like, oh, it's failure. You know, they can't beat Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro is probably one of those teams that on the peak. Like, they're on the rise. They have James. They have James, Sanji, but like Sanji's playing extremely well as well. Like Sanji used to be the support role, not really a guy that frags out. Now he's playing well. You got your Kinder, Buster, and Keycurt. Probably very, very good riflers on that team. Okay, very good riflers. Like, they would easily outshine Floppy, S-Tag, and Mezzy and Woxic, as they should be. Okay, you got a good IGL in who's IGLing? I think it's Sanji maybe IGLing? Or Sanji playing support still. I forget who IGL's Virtus Pro. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Jame, but I wouldn't think they put Jame as IGL. No, Jame is IGL. Yeah, exactly. Like, everyone on VP could pop up hard. Like, seriously, like, look at VP's roster. Like, you telling me that this, you telling me that this Cloud9 roster should beat VP's roster? No. I'll take VP will win this 2-0. Like, the first thing I would go would be VP 2-0. Like, that's the exact first thing I would say. I'd say VP 2-0. They've got your Kinder, they've got James, they've got Buster, they've got Keycurt. They have 4 players that can shit on Cloud9 from the sky. Okay? And just absolute turn games on its head. And I've got to say, this is probably expected. I'm going to say 16-5 to Virtus Pro. Expected. This is what I don't expect. Cloud9 getting this close to Virtus Pro, 16-14. Now, I'm going to assume that this was the map pick of Cloud9. But, you see here, I did not expect, I'm going to say now, given that James is very good on Overpass, I did not expect Cloud9 to even get double digits on Overpass. Okay? I'm going to say now from the map veto, Cloud9's map veto, that was probably a gamble picking Overpass. Given the fact you're versing James. James' best map is Overpass, okay? By far, James will shit on you on Overpass. And we can probably take a look at the results, but let's take a look at the stats here. I wouldn't be surprised if James, has a really good rating. Like, see here, James, very good rating. This is best map by miles, okay? Like, best map by miles. Like, this is the scary part. Like, look at that. Not even kidding. James' best map is Overpass. He can defend A by himself, and that gives Virtus Pro the edge. Okay? But as you can see here, like, it's not just, you can't be expecting Cloud9 to pull miracles out of nowhere. Like, they should have lost 2-0 on this matchup. This matchup is exactly what should have happened. Basically, versing a CIS team on Inferno is going to mean CIS team wins, because Virtus Pro probably play this against their CIS opposition 24/7. Okay, so they're going to win that 16-5. This is very impressive from Cloud9. On the best map of James. James will get, high rating on Overpass, probably like 1.2 to 1.1, always, because he's very, very good at this. I'm very impressed that Cloud9 got 16-14. Okay. Very, very good work there. And, I think it's a bit rubbish that people are like saying that Colossus is dead and Cloud9 should disband and stuff like that. It's like, not really. Like, you're versing probably one of the best CIS teams at the moment. Like, they are probably the best CIS team at the moment. They're probably better than Na'Vi, and I'm going to put it out there as well. VP are probably going to beat Na'Vi as well, because Na'Vi is on the fucking down and down. Now let's get to the next part, okay? Now, enough about my opinion for that team. Even though, I do have a Virtus Pro shirt, no one can say that Virtus Pro aren't playing well. Virtus Pro are playing extremely well, and they might even win this competition. Go put it out there. They might win this competition. They might win Flashpoint 2 overall. Okay? Like, let's take a look at Flashpoint, for example, okay? Who's realistically going to knock out Virtus Pro? Like, seriously, who's realistically going to knock out Virtus Pro out of the 4 here? Can anyone name a team? Don't think so. What about here? Maybe Big? Big could match them. Forze won't be able to match. Envy won't be able to match. MIBR. Dignitas. Probably not. Contact. Probably not. Mad Lions or Fnatic. Maybe. So very few teams are going to match Virtus Pro then. I think Virtus Pro might win the entire thing. But let's get to our next story, okay? Basically, Astralis are launching a talent development program, okay? OG can upset if their players can pop off, maybe. But I'd say, like, with that tournament of Flashpoint, I think Virtus.pro are massive favorites to win that, okay? Like, massive favorites to win that. And if the people who are thinking that Cloud9 are going to win that probably should need their, need to keep their hype down, okay? I know a lot of analysts are going like, Cloud9, 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 Cloud9. I'm like going like, well, a lot of people hit you with the cold sense of reality that Virtus.pro are going to win that. Like, development team for Bubsky, that's what someone memed it to be. Someone actually said this, because I was like looking for the story. I'm like going, someone memed that, talent development programs basically team for Bubsky. Someone actually wrote that. To create a trading partner, basically initiative is with VNG, under 3D Max with Dupree as well, brought in a head coach, as well as assistant to Zonic. Task will be working way out of Copenhagen, main team, basically, So basically it's going to be a second team, essentially, and basically younger players into the scene. To be honest though, not entirely unexpected, given the fact, have you seen AGF, Lynchby Vikings and all those teams? Like, have you seen the top 7 Danish teams? I can understand why they're building this, because they want to get the players for themselves before they get contractors to North, before they get contractors to the lesser teams. They don't want the Astralis' enemy number 1 in Denmark is probably teams like the Copenhagen Flames and stuff like that, who literally just flip over talent for big bucks, okay? That's probably why they're announcing this, because, Copenhagen Flames have made stupid amount of money from flipping their players over that they develop. And this is probably, trying to counter this. They're probably trying to set up this second team to try and stop these, teams like Copenhagen Flames and stuff like that from basically stealing talent from under them and making them pay top dollar for it. Like, can you imagine how much Heroic paid for Tezes, okay, from Copenhagen Flames? Do Australians want to go, let's just say there's a new Orpa, let's say Ligfar, new Orpa, just a bit of a, a little wordplay on Fire League, and, the Orpa device is retiring due to illness, and they know Ligfar is the best Orpa in the Danish scene, and they go to Copenhagen Flames, oh yeah, we want 2 million for him. And Australia's just like, shit, we need to get an Orpa, we might have to fork out the 2 mil. They rather do this instead, where they go to the academy team. Okay, Ligfar, you're on our academy team. Do you want to go and play for Astralis? And Ligfar's like, I love Astralis. And they go play for Astralis without paying $2 million. Okay? That's the entire play here. Is that they don't want to be buying players buyouts when they can be we'll go to the academy team instead. This entire reason there. What they're doing. Okay, I know I played a little bit. Oh, I love this so much. But there's kind of the aspect, okay? Kind of the aspect of, how things kind of work here. And that's what Astralis is trying to do here. They talk about, stuff like this, blah, 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 blah. Obviously a team for Bobsky, of course. And I gotta tell you now, Astralis, talk a whole lot of, we are just good for the industry and stuff like that. But, realistically, it's about the bottom line. They don't want to be chucking out money for good players, okay? Kind of smart corporate move. Astralis has always been like this. Everyone goes, no, Astralis is a good team. No, they're run by corporate. Okay? They're run by corporate people who want my return for money. Okay? Don't be fooled by it. Never be fooled by it. It's kind of like they're very good at spin. They're very good at, spinning everything into a good story. They know how to play the media, okay? Considering that they own some of it too. Did I say that out loud? Whoops daisy, because they do own a bit of HLTV, okay? Just in case you guys are wondering. Yeah, actually, talking about Lynchby Vikings, yeah, I actually was surprised that Fetish was still the coach, because I was sitting there going wait, what? Isn't Fetish a Russian player? Or am I getting him wrong? Oh no, he's a Danish, sorry, I got him mixed up, but yeah, he's still coaching him. But obviously, ESIC. He's not actually coaching, but he's not, I don't think Lynchby would let him go, to be honest. He's only got a 3.75 month ban, so I don't think it's, drop the coach kind of instance. If it's over 6 months, yeah, maybe look at it. But anyways, you can see here, They talked about Yugi. They try to do this as well for Exitlag, Yugi, and stuff like that. And, you know, since they sold Exitlag to Cloud9 for a good amount of money, and they released Yugi as well, and I gotta tell you guys now, this is all for money, okay? Like, I gotta tell you guys now, this is all for the moolah, okay? The moolah. Moolah. They're trying to make sure that the next, you know, device or anything like that is picked up through the Academy team, and to make sure they're not negotiating with Copenhagen Flames and stuff like that, okay? They don't want to be doing that. I don't think anyone want to be talking to, you know, any other Danish team and then naming a price, and Astralis has to negotiate. They probably rather just pick people out of their squad. So next up, we're going to talk about the bot major, okay? We're going to talk about the bot major. So this is from Dextero. So basically, Richard Lewis is running a new bot major. And I gotta say, it's probably one of the most hilarious fucking things I've watched on Twitch. Especially with the one of Malta completing a 1v3 and sneaking to the site. That was probably the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in a bot major. And I've got to say now, it's pretty interesting given the fact that, you know, the majors aren't on. And, you know, it is... I haven't been invited to cast it or anything like that. I'd like to, though. I'll probably talk to him. I'll see if I can, you know, get on to it at least. But it's a bit funny. Okay, it is a bit funny. I have a bit of a giggle at it as well. I'm not sure if it's over yet, but you know. Oh boy. I don't watch a bot mage. What difficulty they use? I have no idea. But it's just something funny to watch. I'm gonna say that Renegades. I think Renegades beat Big or something like that. And I thought that was quite funny. Okay, that was quite funny. Renegades being Big. But yeah, I gotta say, I think they've had a few people come in. I think they've had Dust, Vince, Davey, Flom, Jackie, and apparently Sadakis is gonna make a bingo. Just in case you guys are wondering, I like the disclosure here. Richard Lewis is the editor of Dextero. Yeah, we know that. He announced it. You know, good to see that he's the editor at a company where he can finally make, you know, the media industry like better, because he's been always crapping on the media industry for being shit, because I'm going to be agreeing with him, they have been shit, okay? Like, if you ever noticed the media in general, all they've been doing is just been doing clickbait, rage bait, and just open up lying about things so they can get ratings, okay? Like, they've just been open up, straight up lying. They have clickbait headlines, rage bait, and they don't do any investigation skills. Like, seriously, like, I remember sending Richard the Variety article for the Division 2, okay? And it was the worst. I told him, like, this is legit the worst fucking article I've ever seen for a game. And it's about talking about Tucker Carlson and how this is this fantasy world and everyone. And I'm sitting there going, like, dude, I just want to know if Division 2 is a buy or not, okay? I don't care, you know, if it's fucking Tucker Carlson's best stream ever. I don't care about a fucking Fox News commentator. I want to say, is this game play well? How fun is it or whatever? And this guy kept capping on about Tucker Carlson. I just wanted to bang my head against the desk and being like, dude, I don't care about your obsession with the man who's the best, what is this guy saying kind of face. I want to know if Division 2 is a good game or not. And it's good to see Richards, you know, got a role in this where he can cut out all those stupid people who, you know, crap on about, you know, Tucker Carlson and put some actual people in who actually talk about the game and not 9 pages of drivel and their political leanings. Because I'm going to say, Richard wasn't wrong when he said that political journalists that fail go to games journalism. He's not wrong, okay? He's not wrong. It's sounding kind of true. And, you know, I like a bot major. I like his editor now at Dextero. Let's hope he gets some changes going. Next up, we have got this. Okay, so everyone's been talking about this. They've all been talking about the good old DMCA. You can get it down at the DMCA. Always wanted to do that. Seriously, I'm not gonna lie. There's gonna be a cover song about that, okay? You played a police siren and now it's going to the DMCA. Another fire engine DMCA. You won't get a good meal. Your audio will be muted. I don't know the lyrics, okay? We're gonna have to write the lyrics one day, but okay? But we're gonna talk about DMCA, okay? So we go to The Verge, okay? So basically, DMCA is just basically going through Twitch You play a fire height siren, if it's a stock sound, it's DMCA. And, you know, basically they're talking about DMCA and how it's basically running like a tornado through the entire Twitch scene. Okay? Let's see what my good friend has said about DMCA. Because as soon as I did that DMCA, one of my friends snapped at me. So I'm very sure I'll be talking about my dance about the DMCA. No, I'm not commenting about my DMCA. Joe's about to get DMCA, another fire siren DMCA. You won't have a good meal. I'm not sure how to go. What does the Eric, you know? Young man, is that Linkin Park I see? Young man, is that? Oh man, that'd be pretty good. I think someone should do a song of that. You know, DMCA, and instead of like big streamers being banned, But anyways, let's go. Okay, I know you guys probably like sitting here being like, "Oh, dude, what the fuck is this guy going on about?" Trust me, there needs to be a DMCA. Okay, so basically, Twitch. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys now. One that Twitch have been receiving, like asking questions about the DMCA issues since 2014, and I love it how media outlets are like going like, Twitch are finally addressing. No, Twitch are addressing these DMCA claims. Like Twitch are like, you know, Twitch are like leading the charge. It's like, no, Twitch are like big force to, you know, acknowledge this now, given the fact that Boy and some of their top streamers, Ava as well, are banned due to DMCA strikes, okay? And I'm sitting here going like, oh man, all those times that those content creators asked about whether or not, you know, that we should prepare for DMCA. Oh, we're gonna have to talk about it now. Probably 4 years down the track, okay? So basically, they only got 50 DMCA notifications each year, so it wasn't too bad. And now they're receiving thousands per week. So basically now, Twitch have to act. And it's basically on year-old clips. So Twitch basically got rid of the targeted clips, apologized, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say now, like, Twitch, everyone fucking told you this was going to happen, okay? Like, sorry for swearing, but seriously, everyone told you that this was going to happen. And you chose to do nothing. Okay. Everyone said get some new stuff with YouTube and stuff like that. Not do what YouTube does, even though it's probably pretty bad to begin with. But seriously, like, come on. And it's like acting shocked that this is happening. Come on, guys. Not good enough. I mean, Devin Nash went into topic about this or what's going to happen. Like, they had Nick Merckx, okay? Nick Merckx was like going, oh, this DMCA is not going to affect me. I'm like sitting there going like, dude, do you see what happened to Napster, dude? Like, how old are you? Like, Napster got like sued to the ground by the music industry. They don't care. They'll go after you. And like, there's this guy trying to explain to him, like, going, dude, like, if you keep doing this, you keep playing Drake songs and stuff like that, and you pay it to like 5,000 people, 6,000 people, the music industry is going to be like, oh yeah, we want money for every single person there. And I don't think XQC and Nick Merckx realized that they could lose all the money they've got from Twitch just to that due to musical lawsuits, okay? Could be more too. But anyways, so this is some hilarious facts here. This is the blog that we talked about earlier. And things can be better and should be better for creators than they have recently. Well, they haven't really been good. Just in case you guys are wondering, it gets even worse. Where is it? Oh, what? It's not there? Oh, bugger. It gets even worse. Okay. Let me just put this up. Sorry, guys. It gets even worse. We recommend to look at it and turn off any music. Okay. That's going to be a good thing. Turning off music of any game that you play. So the game's going to be completely silent. And it's just going to be you going through the game. And it's going to be completely silent. And basically, you can't play anything behind it. We were surprised to see. Yeah, exactly. As I said. Surprised my ass. Now, next part's going to be like, you know, we recommend to not play game music. Well, I'm going to tell you now, like, given the fact that all the music that I like is from in-game, like Devil May Cry, Nero themes, Metal Gear Rising, the entire soundtrack, Persona 5, the soundtrack, and a lot of other things, I think the music's quite important. You know, Assassin's Creed music. World of Warcraft movement music, not so much, given I have it all fucking muted, so Maybe the WoW one can slide, even though you can use it. Blizzard advised that you can use all their music. So we can let that one slide. Okay, we don't need the WoW music. The WoW music, don't care about. I've got it muted anyway, okay? So don't worry. But seriously, like, so you're telling people not to play music at all in their games, and now it gets worse, okay? It gets a bit worse. A police siren in Persona 5. And by the way, he's not kidding. Like, he is not kidding. Okay? Not even kidding. Okay? His VOD was muted for a police, ambulance, or fire truck siren for 6 minutes. So you know how those police sirens and stuff go past my thing? Imagine if I get one of my videos muted because of that. And you know what's the worst part about this? Is that, remember the old times, my blogs, where I had this different music track from, I forget his name. Because I've had to DM him several times because people keep stealing his fucking music. I'm trying to figure his name. I can't figure it off the top of my head. But I've been like, you know, had my VODs muted by playing his music. 2 seconds, let me find the guy's name. God, I have his name. I have his name. I think it's Dawn. Sephiros, that's right. And you guys have no idea how many times my VODs were muted because some guy stole a song. Like, some guy made his own record label, stole his song, that copyrighted, even though he doesn't own the song, like the guy who got it, and then started muting VODs and started claiming ad money from anyone on YouTube and Twitch, okay, for playing his song. And I have lodged 2 appeals already to Twitch saying that that's not his music. And I've given Twitch admins saying that it's not his music. Please pass it to him. Please take off the copyright because it's not his music. And I know whose music it is. I've got DMs saying I can use his music. And, you know, it's like, this problem's getting worse, okay? Like, this problem is getting worse where, like, basically you have to make your own sound effects at this point. And that's not a good solution to the problem, okay? Then you have to make your... Like, seriously, you're not going to have any content on Twitch if people can't play games. All you're going to have is ASMR, people dancing, I guess, and just chat channels, okay? Like, that's all you're going to have. You're not going to have any gameplay content at all on Twitch, okay? Or maybe esports too, okay? Unless they deem an AK sound as DMCA worthy. But I gotta say here, like, with the music industry, okay, I'm gonna say now with DMCA, seriously, you need an IP washout here where you can't police or copyright generic sounds. Like, seriously, like, you guys gotta stop this. You can't be copyright claiming generic sounds. Like, surely someone's gotta step in and be like, no, you can't copyright police sirens or ambulance sirens and stuff like that. Like, seriously, it's generic. Just go away. And, you know, that's what I think. Like, DMCA is obviously valid. You know, people do put a lot of work in those tracks. All the players, you know, from the singer themselves, the support stuff and stuff like that. But, like, seriously, like, generic sounds shouldn't be in there. Okay, like, I don't feel they're going to be in there. The current system as it is, like, if you play anything related to DMCA, they have a right to sue you for how many people heard it or whatever. Whether you're big or very small. So there's multiple scenarios, as Devin did go through, Devin Nash. They could be basically the music industry targets the top streamers and sues them for fuck tons of money because they can. Because they have a right to. Just in case you guys are wondering. Because they have a right to. That's how the system works. And apparently there's a few, like, you know, little targets they're going to meet. Nick Merckx and XQC probably might get sued for a fuck ton of money. We'll yet to see. But yeah, you know, there's the potential that it can be sued for loads and loads of money. And it will probably happen. Okay? Eventually, if they keep, you know, trying to break this. Now, with the DMCA, as I said before, like, there's only a few arguments against it. Like, the genericity's got to go. Like, generic, it's got to be a generic defense because it's getting a bit ridiculous. And yeah. Oh. What else would I want to talk about with DMCA? Also, another thing here. This is where it gets more and more ridiculous, okay? This guy's VOD was muted. There's no music. But Whispering at a Ghost sounded like a meditation spoken word album. Okay? Like, this is the thing where I get kind of annoyed at. Is when you may have whispered a word or anything like that. But since it's like, copyright tune, your audio gets muted. It's like... I'm going to say here, like, I feel like this system of law is becoming to a point where it's going to stymie creativity, okay? Like, it's going to kill creativity. Like, creativity of music and stuff like that is going to be realistically dead, okay? And basically, they're going to be killing the golden goose that lays the egg, okay? Like, not even kidding. Like, these two claims are ridiculous. They are absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way in this, because this is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is unbelievably stupid that Twitch and other gaming companies have not found a reason to do this. Maybe, like, this is the funny part. Someone suggested this ages ago. To tell Twitch to talk to Spotify to get them to intermingle and link where Twitch will play music through Spotify, okay? Spotify, that handles the royalties. Twitch pays Spotify to handle the royalties. Spotify is not a competitor to Twitch because Twitch does live streaming and Spotify does not. Perfect partnership. They didn't do it. This was about 4 years ago, by the way. It's clearly at the moment the system doesn't work. The system has a lot of, like, seriously, another case as well. I'll tell you now, another case. Same thing happened. This is them playing Dead Space, okay? Another one. But yeah, like, the thing is, like, basically, look at here. Like, this is the worst part, okay? Like, basically, this guy said the song, the reason it's got a sample from Dead Space. Like, look at that, like, pretty much. It's just absolute crazy DMCA at the moment. Like, you know how those people did those joke videos where they're like, they're like, oh man, this is DMCA'd by Stickman7, stuff like that. It's because most of it is actually true, okay? Like, most of it is actually true. Of what people have been DMCA'd with. Or not DMCA'd with, but being muted for. And it's going to get to the point where, like, people are just not going to bother. Like, there's a barrier to entering the market. People can go, oh, it's fair game and stuff like that. But, like, you're not going to get new people in. Because they're going to be like, oh, fuck this. Do I really want to jump through 20 million legal loopholes to get my song released? No. And what's going to happen is that all the smaller people will be pushed out, and it'll just be like 6 mega companies who basically, pay people like nothing, get millions of dollars, and they're like, oh, who are you going to go to? X, Y, Z, B, Z, E, which basically are all in this little cahoots things where they will always pay a person this much. So what's going to happen in the end, okay? So what's going to happen in the end is that there's going to be like 6 or 7 people who control literally fucking everything, and everyone will be shoved out of the market because the big 7 will control, will agree to do things, but it won't be no evidence of it. And basically, they'll be seemingly working together, but not working together, basically. So it's kind of a false competition kind of thing. Okay? You can call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but that's what's going to happen. Like, they're just going to do that. Like, basically, they make all the money, and essentially the artists, well, depending on how well they can negotiate, they make some money too. So what's going to happen? It's going to be this big barrier to entry. It's going to be like too many copyrights where if someone plays a track with like a police siren in it, you're going to get done. Pretty much it. Like, you've got to get a copyright, license for the police siren, license for the fire engine, where it's just going to be becoming too much work, and it's just like, stuff it. Why bother? Like, just go to be an accountant or a financial advisor and don't have to go through the bullshit. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for Chill Time with Jose today. Wow. Okay, I've been talking about crap for an hour and I can't believe that. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this, go to my socials, subscribe to my YouTube. The entire podcast will be on my YouTube. Please go there. Sign up to all my stuff there and my YouTube. I believe YouTube is actually on YouTube. Go there, be a subscriber. All the stuff will be there. Also, they're powered by Exitlag, Steel Series, and Overt. You can also, if you need a VPN for Exitlag, you can use my affiliate link there to get 20% off your first month with Exitlag. It's a big custom gaming VPN that basically, you can activate the VPN for whatever games you want. You don't have to set up this entire VPN service for everything. It's just only VPN games that you want, and that, it has 2 connections as well. So if one goes down, the second connection will automatically kick in and it won't DC you from your game. So it's got 2 connections by default, and it's got 500 different servers across the world. So you can get to England, Sydney, whatever you want. Path to where the servers are, you'll get to. But anyways, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm Jose as your... I'm not sure today. What do they call it? Well, thank you for tuning in for the Chilltime with Jose podcast. I'm your host and everything else, Jose, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you guys later.